All right, so we got the rectangular calculator working, and now we're looking at parallelograms and rhombuses. Rhombi. And it's going to be the same basic process. Some little differences. We've got more variables to deal with, and our calculations will be slightly different or um, yeah, the same but slightly different variables. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that button so we can see this is our parallelogram rhombus screen. And this is what it looks like. These are the inputs we're looking at. So we've got three input values. We'll obviously have three variables we set, and then we'll do the same two outputs with calculations that are just a little bit different. So we'll go into our UI controls. That's the user interface controls, and the on screen is, excuse me, on event is what we want to put in here. So we'll put that on event underneath. Looks like we're underneath. There we go. And um, excuse me, on event again is the same event, right? This time it's the parallelogram rhombus submit button, and look at that, it came right up. That's nice. When that button is clicked, we want a few things to happen. First thing we want to happen is we want all of those variables that we have to get values, right? So we have three variables this time that we're going to set. 1, 2, 3. And then once we've set those variables, we obviously will set the text that we want to have outputted. So we've got base 1 again. Spelling matters. So base 1 equals, and then we'll have height equals. And the last one is going to be side 1. Again, we only use side 1 because we only have that one side. So back to our user interface controls, and we're going to get a number again. It's right there, and we'll get a number for each of those. And again, the reason we talked about get number and the number will get naming protocols, right? That's what I was trying to say. One of the reasons that naming protocols is such a big deal is because that way we can make sure that we get values and match them with our variables a little bit more easily. So parallelogram rhombus base input, we're talking about base 1. That's what we're going to set it as, right? And our height is going to be parallelogram rhombus height input. And then our side 1 will be parallelogram rhombus side input. There it is. So again, those input values, so whatever's typed in those spaces, we want that value to come out as the value that we're using. Once we've done that, we're going to set text a couple times. And we've got two output areas, so we'll use that set text block. And again, the first one is going to be our parallelogram rhombus perimeter output, and the second one will be parallelogram rhombus area output. There it is. Now the text we use, again, we're going to go to the math blocks. It always makes me giggle. It did the first time, it's going to the last time, that we're using a math block to output our text. Just funny stuff. So that plus block in both of those, and then we'll start the plus block the same way we did in quotation marks. We're going to write perimeter equals in quotation marks, and the same thing down here in area, quotation mark, area equals. And again, I like those spaces on either side so that we can make sure that we're getting everything that we need in there. Perimeter of a parallelogram, very similar to perimeter of a rectangle, except that what we'll use is the side instead of the height. So I'm going to put in, oopsies, I need a plus block again. So I'm going to do, I'm going to add, and again, I could add base 1 or plus base 1 and then side 1 plus side 1, but I'm going to do the multiplication version of that, which is base 1 times 2 plus side 1 times 2. So again, there I've got my blocks in, and again, this is going to be base 1 times 2, and this will be side 1. times 2. And that should give me the perimeter, the distance around the outside of the parallelogram. Area of parallelogram, exactly the same function, exactly the same calculation as area of a rectangle, which is base 1 times height. So again, at this point, we should be able to test our function and make sure that it works. And we're already here, so let's just go ahead and throw some numbers in here. So let's make the base 10. The height will be 5, and the side will be 4. Just what I came up with quickly. So if we click submit, oh, we didn't reset. Yep, that makes sense. Run. So new code. That's why it didn't work. The code we'd just written, same numbers, 10, height 5, and side 4. Let's submit now, and you can see we do get out values. So height times base gives us 50 for the area, and then base times 2 is 20, side times 2 is 8. 28 is the perimeter value. So again, those values seem to match what we would expect our area and perimeter to end up as. So seems like our functions are working, which is great. We've only got one set of functions left to write that should do everything we needed to do. Pretty good stuff.